What's up, guys? It's a girl, Mathilda, obviously. And you know that because you're on my channel. And today we're going to talk about the truth about the bottom surgery, or the SRS, or the gender reassignment surgery, or the gender confirmation surgery. The last one is a bit tricky, but yeah, there's plenty of names for this video. But today I'm going to talk about my truth behind, or like the truth of this surgery. But before we get into the video, don't forget to follow me on my socials, especially Instagram, you know, fun time. But now let's get into this video. So the first thing that I want to talk about is there's complications with every surgery that you have, or like there might be complications with every surgery that you have. And I've talked about my SRS, my bottom surgeries, multiple times here on my channel, and I've talked about some complications that occurred while I was in the hospital, the hospital visit. All of the complications that occurred then, they weren't really relevant to the surgery as a whole. They were more relevant to the people working at the hospital, if you get what I'm saying. So it wasn't really connected to the surgery, really. However, the complications that I'm talking about, they happened after the surgery, and they are still happening 6 years after the surgery. I had my bottom surgery maybe like 6 years ago, and I still get complications from it, and there's a risk of that with every surgery that you will ever have. You know, if you've ever had a surgery, maybe you've had like a knee surgery or arm surgery, but what might happen, and what often happens, is that you get pain in that area long time after you did it. Maybe you did a knee surgery, and once in a while your knee is weak, or once in a while you get these aches in the knee, and that is kinda like, that goes kinda hand in hand with having any surgery whatsoever, and that kinda occurs down there as well. Once in a while I get these aches, I get these pains, and sometimes they're more like stabbing pains, and sometimes they're more low-key pains, like aches that will have like maybe in 20 minutes or so, and then they will, disappear, and I won't have them again in a few weeks, or maybe days or months. It really depends on what I'm doing. Maybe I'm like hiking, or maybe, I'm having fun with my boyfriend. I can get these pains sometimes, and that's really nothing to be scared of. I mean, it's a small price to pay to be really happy with your own body. However, if I could choose, I could live without them, but that's impossible. And most of the people that have bottom surgery will suffer from some pain after the surgery. Sometimes it will pass. Like, sometimes for some people you will only have the pains for maybe like a year or 2 years, and after that all of the nerves down there, they're kinda all healed. However, as I said, with every surgery there's a risk that you will suffer from pain now and then. Like, I know a lot of people, and also I've had other surgeries, and it's kind of the same thing. Yeah, there's always a risk of having pain for the rest of your life after the surgery, or years after you've had the surgery. And I'm telling you right now, the pain is not aggressive. I mean, it's really manageable, and sometimes I get like, and then it goes away, and it won't happen again for a few months. So it's kind of like that. But as I said, it really depends on what I'm doing, if I'm sick or if I'm doing something physical. And yeah, so that's one thing that can happen or can occur after you've had the surgery. So the next thing that I want to talk about in this video, I touched on it in the beginning of this video. I've stated this before. I've talked about this before in other videos that I've done. My hospital visit was awful, and it was really difficult, and this is something that we kinda glance over when we talk about having the surgery, we talk about the emotional part and how amazing it is to finally be complete, or so to speak. However, I've said before that the pain was kind of manageable, and it was like I had it kind of good in that sense. I've heard from other people that their pain levels was like off the charts, and my pain level was kind of like it was kind of like a 6. I've been through worse, that is what I'm saying. Like, the pain wasn't that hard to deal with. However, I was at the hospital for 7 days. Being in a hospital for that long, it really takes a toll on you. Even though the pain was manageable, it was always there. I couldn't escape the pain. I also had a catheter in, and I couldn't do my business by myself. I just lay there with all of these tubes and all of these people like running in and out, and just like looking at down there my business. And it was a really surreal moment. It's hard to believe what is going on when you're in it, and also you're like high on, or you're not really there. You're kind of like being this all the time for like a week. It was kind of degrading. I just felt degraded, and I know that the doctors, they weren't trying to degrade me. It just felt degrading, like laying there half naked with people looking at you all the time, and you were like sore and aches all everywhere, and you just felt very naked emotionally. And it was just like a very weird and surreal time and that is something that I think that you will have to deal with. However, in the end of the tunnel, after you've had the bottom surgery, you will feel so much better, I promise you. Everything will be kind of amazing. I'm not trying to be like this dreamy, or I think so. Like, I was so happy, utterly happy to finally be whole. The third thing that I want to talk about in this video is the dilation. And if you don't know what dilation means, I'm going to tell you. It's something that you will have to do to keep the area open after you've had the surgery, because afterwards the area wants to close itself off, kinda. So you get these like medical instruments that look like objects that girls use when they want to have a good time by themselves. But yeah, so you get these medical instruments that are not nice to put in the area. That is what I'm saying. Like, after you've had the surgery, you just want to relax, chill. You want to keep everything that you possibly can out of that area, and then you get these instruments, these objects that you're forcing yourself to put in there to keep it open. And the worst thing with this entire surgery is actually the dilation schedule. After you've had the surgery, you will need to dilate 3 to 4 times each day, and you will need to do it for like 30 minutes each time. It just like takes up all of the time that you possibly have, and you will need to do this for like 3 months before you can bring it down to twice a day. And when you have it twice a day, it's kind of manageable, like once in the morning and once in the evening. But before that, like for the first 3 months, it's impossible to have a life. You're just indoors the entire time, and also the dilation is awfully painful. I'm not joking. You're on meds. However, it's still awfully painful. Like, you have an open wound and you are forcing yourself to put objects in there to keep it open, and it's so incredibly hard. And for the first 3 months, you're going to do it, as I said, like 3 to 4 times a day. And then after 3 months, you're going to do it twice a day for 6 months. And after 6 months, you're going to do it once a day. And after 1 year, you can do it once a week. But yeah, let's move on. The last thing on this list is it can take a long time before you achieve the big O. It took like 1.5 years before I actually achieved the big O on my own. The doctors told me that the area needs time to heal and the nerve endings are still finding each other, and once everything is healed up and everything is done with the healing process that can take up to a year and even beyond a year, it will be harder to achieve the big O. Like 6 months after I had the surgery, I tried and nothing really happened. I mean, it was nice, but you know, I didn't so to speak, and it took a long time before that happened. But it did happen, like, and now I can achieve it, you know, as any other person. Once I finally had it, there was no issue having it again. Like, I think I just needed my self time to heal, and after that time my body just like did what it was supposed to do. And some people might find it more difficult to achieve the big O after the surgery than others. I've heard some people say that they just achieved it like 6 months after the surgery, and I've also heard from other people that they still struggle to actually after the surgery. And I think I've read somewhere that it's around 74% that can achieve the big O after 1 year and still, you know, be happy about it. But for me, it took like, as I said, around 1.5 years before I actually achieved it. And I can understand that it's a big surgery, you need your body to heal, but if you're scared to have the surgery because you're afraid of losing your ability to achieve the big O, don't be. You can talk to your doctors about that fear, and they might let you know how many people can after the surgery, and maybe that will ease your mind. But you know, it's your choice. Do what makes you happy. I'm just stating the fact that it took a while before I actually achieved it. However, now, as I said, there's no issue whatsoever. But yeah, that was all of the things that I wanted to talk about in this video. I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to say. But if you like this video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe, and also hit the little bell icon to get future notifications whenever I post. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!